Greetings. What up, my people? Connect with the Om chant. This Om chant is a healing energy source that is generated from the all. Divine love of infinite expansion to reach me and you, the Melanite people of the sun, and network through us like intelligent cells of our human bodies as Melanite people of the sun. May this transmission reach my viewers, listeners, and supporters in the area where it matters most, in the mind, the heart, spirit, soul, and super consciousness level. How y'all doing today? May this transmission find y'all in good spirits, despite the hell that's going on in the world, or despite the hell that you may be going through to overcome just to be victorious, going through that particular learning experience. And may we latch on and hold on to our true spiritual science that's designed for us to be winners in all areas of people activity on the planet. Now, we're not about small talk here. You know, y'all listening to me right now, your Nubian brother, John, the Nubian winner, where I also go by beautiful cultural names in terms of Neptawi Oba, Majai, Kamentu Aten, other names, you know what I'm saying, that I just keep to myself for beautiful reasons. But for the sake of, you know, me being a brother from around the way, I am very enthusiastic about sharing this knowledge of self, you know, with you, that you may connect with your brother and know that I mean well by you. I'm not about foolish fun and games, trolling, or wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing a mask on this particular channel. You have a lot of people out here that's what they do. They wear masks. They're not sincere in their efforts to really befriend you on a positive level that's free from ulterior motives. You can't trust people out here nowadays. People so full of fakeness and nonsense to the point where the evil one has their consciousness. I cringe. It's like staying away from a nasty, like, environment or person or people that make you cringe because they so filthy. You don't want to be around them because of you being basically yourself a sanitized individual. You know what I'm saying? That live on a fresh, upright level. You know, to where you connected with the right spiritual forces that is causing you to live a life of personal lavishness as a result of your good taste in class, right? But all these jokers and tricksters out here that is pretty much on the side of the losers who think that they is winning in this lifetime to the point where they are workers of iniquity. You know, they have done nothing but deceive themselves in thinking that they can have certain ill effects on the righteous. Now, for instance, the nature of this transmission is to glorify the righteous. Now here we are as chosen one, star seeds, and intelligently inquisitive brothers and sisters who want to pretty much cleanse ourselves of the unclean things of this world, that we may be a shining light, not only for ourselves but for our families and actually the rest of the world. Because the world is in need of a new mindset of supreme wisdom. Now watch this. It is my job as a spiritually mature brother amongst the people to lead by example. To lead by example with credibility and respect for my position as a man, representing my manhood and warrior energy. Much love to the Natjaru, the overseers, who are working in service of this divine movement of us waking up and tapping back into the purity and tapping back into the purity and waking up to the purity, or getting ourselves in position through listening to right knowledge to remember the purity in which we was created in. Yeah. Because this is a warfare. This is a war. This is an everyday battle against unclean spirits in a person of people who seems to not get the message that they shall bow down and worship the Most High. See, this is the frequency that we are on. I'm going to go into certain reading material by the master teacher, right? To make sense of our everyday lives and where we spiritually and prophetically stand in this particular divine scheme of things, to where is y'all mentalities, where is y'all heads at in the mix of what's going on, pretty much, right? Every day is a day for us to stay sucker free in the presence of our enemies, because we do have enemies, and guess what? These enemies want us to remain on a insignificant level of thought. But they got the wrong ones here. We connected with the sacred wisdom of Tahuti, of our Kemetic ancestors, on the beautiful land of ancient Tamaray that's in our blood today. Now look at this. We are positive frequency people. Well, we strategically know how to utilize energies in a way that suits us, that's conducive to our well-being. But certain forces have tried to manipulate our minds to the point where they consider us pretty much like they consider us to be like this. When we act out of, our people act out of ignorance, right? It's considered that pretty much is like a normal state for people to look at us and see us in, as if that's a description, like that's who we are as a people, as a result of certain social engineering, to the point where the ignorance that our people display, that ignorance has been normalized and accepted as the standard array, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But no, we are mental giants in our right mind. In our right mindset, the planet see us as mental giants. Look at the ancient civilizations of the world. Who created them? It will lead you to the reality that we are the great mothers and fathers of these civilizations. What happened to the modern day black man and woman that reside here in the United States of America, that's constantly, it seems like their minds have been under attack by psychic attacks. We're finna get into this. Psychic attacks that they seem to be so vulnerable to the point where they haven't caught the reality of the psychic attack, to where they have been possessed by demons and other mindsets that has been caused by demonic forces. But a lot of our people look at those particular influences as something acceptable in a so-called civilized society. But that civilized society is a society rooted in trick knowledge, lies, schemes, backstabbing, debauchery, to the point where a lot of our people is caught up in what's called the web of the devil. Now watch this. Who's who on the planet Earth? What have you been learning all these years as an adult, black man and woman? Oh my God. Not to mention the children. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the children who they looking forward to be other vessels that they can pour their nonsense into, for them to grow up to be robotic in character, like a lot of the brainwash adults, to keep the cycle going, for them to be an energy source as a result of their ignorance, to perpetuate a world that needs to be destroyed in this divine judgment that is in the earth right now for righteous purposes, for people to adopt, to bring healing in the planet. Not all of this pain, suffering, living in lack, robbing and stealing and thievery and raping and fooling the people and constant activities of people who appear to be responsible people in positions of authority, making false promises to the people that cause the people to distrust certain leaderships. Watch people. Just look at people around you, man. Just watch these people, man. A lot of these people, they not right, man. You can feel the ethers. They tell on themselves all the time. But enough of them. Let's get off into the science of us. You know what I'm saying? As the light beings who is doing light, who are light workers, doing the works of the Most High, to where we on time with certain thoughts that show that we are indeed carrying into practice the lessons that is meant for us to get, so we can let these lessons that help us refine our characters with, well, we let the negative karmas of the world serve us as examples how not to be right, to where we ain't out here doing fucked up shit. We stand out the way of the negative karmas of the world. Let them do that, because you know what? A lot of people create their own. They create their own demise. They hurting themselves, but hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Want to hurt you and I to try to get us to be in a state of uncomfort or discomfort, because they feel that that's something that they have to do when they don't have to do that. Humble yourselves and come to us and be like, you know what? How can I learn how to bring out the best in me like you bringing out the best in you? Can y'all start doing that? Y'all that prideful and egotistical to the point where you rather be jealous and envious of us? listen and learn. We will never stoop to y'all level. You know why? Because it's in our DNA to rise above those petty traits and reflect the traits of our spiritual mother and fathers who are masterminds of civilization, who are perfected beings that is rich by nature, connected with natural nature. Now let's get down to business with the spiritual science of right knowledge. Now, someone had put a certain thought out there regarding the New World Order. See, in this New World Order, these certain people, they making plans. They have plans. But we heard before in a agreeable school of thought that the Most High is the best of planners. The Creator is the best of planners. God, by what name you identify with, is the best of planners. Anu, El Kalun, Allah, El Elo, Eli, Elohim, Amin Ra. Now, with that said, right, we are free from the spells of ignorance through a certain formula of thought that is designed to make us smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter and spiritually sound, spiritually in tune with the right tones, frequencies, and vibrations. That cause us to have a certain connection, right? In the spirit world, well, we are not to have any worries about the plans of these other people with this particular New World Order, right? By whose approval is certain agendas taking place? Is it by the Most High's approval, or is it by a certain man-made approval where they think they can be antagonistic to the forces of natural nature that's rooted in the mind of the Most High? Now, it was a particular saying in a certain scripture, right, where it say, the secret things of the Most High belong to the Most High. But the things I reveal to you in this reading material, ponder on that, right? And when you ponder on that, through studying to show thyself approved, my mysteries will be made known to you. See, I love the Most High. The Most High love me. I love my ancestors. My ancestors love me. I'm a man. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. And I'm rightly guided by forces beyond the mere mortals. Beyond the minds of these mere mortals on this planet. Every brother ain't your brother. Every sister ain't your sister. I'm a good discerner of spirit. I know what I know. And in a bigger picture of this world, where war games is being played, look at the militaries of the planet. Are they in a state of mind where they are being the change that they want to see in the world on an agreeable level? like how us individually, right? We like, oh, I'm being the change that I want to see in the world. And being that change that you want to see in the world means that you was doing something that will provide the people something useful and beneficial and healthy for their well-being, right? So in light of the militaries, collectively as a whole, dealing with a lot of these sovereign governments, what did the scripture say about these particular wars and rumors of wars? And why these particular wars and rumors of wars going on? Where do we stand at in the midst of what's going on in our communities where we at, where we live here in America? Or are we thinking that deep when it comes to spiritual things? That's where our mind should be at. But yet, we have daily distractions that seems to be winning. Winning distractions, right? These distractions seems to be like the distractions is gaining ground and getting the people distracted into things that's causing them to not be putting their time in keeping in remembrance the Most High's agenda of life while we live, right? And with that said, let's get to these other perspectives as far as this thought-provoking line of reasoning where I want to go into. Okay, every day it seems like in our American culture, you know, we work to make our money, working jobs, go home. You know, we watch movies, TV programs, and read books, go out to eat, socialize, go in different places, and sightseeing and things of this particular nature. But as far as taking real time for yourself and reading something meaningful and reflecting on something meaningful that's dealing with the past, present, and future. How are we really developing where our souls is being protected? You know what I'm saying? Against the lies of the arch deceiver who got us out here living certain lifestyles. Well, we think we live in our lives, but we actually live in a culture that is of the devil civilization. We have to know who we belong to out here. So stay on point because it's getting more and more controversial on a daily basis, dealing with the psychology of where people is at out here. Now, for instance, this is a question by the master teacher. I'm gonna go into some things. So put your thinking cap on. Does the media or television play a role in introducing the New World Order? Yes. Just look around you. The television is saturated with all kinds of subliminal seduction. from wanting to be white, right, to bad things happening all over the world. Now, think about that. All over the world. Matter of fact, we're going to go here. Matter of fact, we're going to take it here. So are you saying that the movie industry is a part of this Illuminati plan? Yes, the movie industry is tied up in it also. In fact, the word movie just describes the film moving on a wheel. The proper name for a movie is cinema. Now, what is a movie? A sequence of photographs projected onto a screen with sufficient rapidity as to create the illusion of motion and continuity, right? A connected cinematic narrative represented in this form, a theater that shows movies, right? In terms of cinema, cinema is a film or movie, right? Films or movies considered as a group. The film or movie industry, the art or technique of making films or movies in terms of a sequence of photographs projected onto a screen with sufficient rapidity as to create the illusion of motion and continuity. Phonetically, first, the three-letter sin simply means sin in cinema. When you break it down, sin. So the suggestion to sin, the influences that try to influence our minds into something that is considered acceptable in society in terms of like certain persons or cinemas, make a suggestion to you to the point where is that suggestion agreeable? Is it lawful or is it unlawful? Like in some spiritual cultures, they talk about what is halal, lawful, and what is haram, not acceptable or unlawful, right? Phonetically, the first three letters in cinema, C-I-N, simply means sin, S-I-N. Do you agree with that or not? Is that what that really means, or is that is that a an acronym, right? But I don't think it's a coincidence that phonetically the first three letters C-I-N simply means sin, which is exactly what they encourage on movies. All other producers and their stars are the lesser luminaries. Now, these particular people, Stephen King, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, who did the Star Wars series, right? The Lucius Productions is nothing more than Lucifer Productions. All of your favorite movie stars are a part of the major productions, such as Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Eddie Murphy, Lindsay Bonet, Jack Nicholson, Marlon Brando, Austin Wells, etc. They are the lesser light luminaries, okay? They are helping to contribute to the chaos. Is this true or is this not true? Now, this is just for educational purposes for us to ponder on certain things to the point where it compares it to our real life, where we living in our real communities. The type of stuff we see out here is the stuff we see in the cinemas. So is art imitating life, or is life imitating art? So if art, so if life is imitating art, then that's a big problem. Life is supposed to be imitating the supreme architect of the universe. I'm going to say that again. Life, the people in life, are to be imitating or acting in our conduct in a way where we're reflecting the instructions and knowledge of the supreme architect of the universe, which is the Most High. So how did people fall to such a state, to be such fallen ones, to mentally get influenced and captivated by these particular stars demonstrations of these particular kind of expressions that is reflections of what they call art? What kind of art is this? Is this art leading us astray, or is this art leading us on a path to where we are making the correct, where we are making the right connections with the spirit world agreeably? Now, this continues to say they are lesser luminaries. They are helping to contribute to the chaos. Once again, contribute to the chaos. Now, mind you, we have witnessed all kind of craziness around us, especially in our black communities, right? That we want to clean up. We just continue to read, right? By the way, stars, 5-pointed star is a symbol of Satan. The word star simply comes from the Greek word aster or ester, which means star. S-star could also be found in Aramic Hebrew. It is also Astaroth or Ishtar, who is the demon moon deity worshipped by the ancient Babylonians. Ponder on that for a minute. Babylonians. Now, is this how things really work? Now, when we was children, being educated in elementary school, middle school, and high school, you know, we innocent, thinking that, you know, going on with the forwardness of our life in this world, right? You know, We want to be like the stars and be successful. But as far as like the reality of coming in contact with people, to where things ain't what it seems, it causes you to step back and say, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need to go certain routes that cause me to compromise, you know what I'm saying, certain parts of myself for me to get ahead. So I back away from that and pay attention to what really matters when it comes to enriching my mind with the spiritual truth of being obedient to the ways of the Most High for my own soul salvation. Now, this goes on to say about Ishtar, right? Ishtar is the symbol of the crescent moon, which in Syriac Arabic is called Halal, and is phonetically produced the same as Halal of Isaiah 14:12. The name Lucifer is simply Lucifer, and the ancient Sumerian Lu simply means primitive, and cipher is called a circle. Yet, in actuality, it comes from the Ashuric Syriac Arabic word cipher, a square-shaped dot that resembles a star. These stars have been incorporated into religions. In almost every religion, the nation, in almost every religion and nation, there is a star that is being acknowledged. They have you worshiping these stars and you don't even know it. Stars are also used in the entertainment world. So basically, everyone is a star worshiper. They tell you to shoot for the stars. Now, who is this telling us? Shoot for the stars. Where did that come from? What does that mean? Shoot for the stars. So here it is. We young. We look up to people. We want to look up to people, right? When we young. But you have certain adults. They looking up to certain people too. But yet they childish in their mindset to where they looking up to these certain people like stars, or certain people like they call, you know, celebrities. People look up to these people. So in terms of stars, you know, people looking up to these people with stars, but when you think about the stars of the cosmos, those are the real stars. So by us being star seeds and star people, who is a product of the dark matter consciousness of the universe that produce stars, we naturally are the real stars of God. Not these particular stars, but not to take away from the artistry of these people being gifted, you know what I'm saying, with their skills in the movies as actors who have skills to act. But who are these people really? Who are we looking up to really? When it comes to the prophets of the Most High, why aren't we glorifying those stars? When it comes to the angels of the Most High, Why aren't we glorifying those stars? Or the people of the Most High? Why aren't we glorifying those stars? But yet, in the devil's world, he said, I'm going to make what's wrong look right and what's right look wrong. So here it is. We're looking at stuff backwards in society. And we wonder where that backwards thinking come from. You know who it come from? It comes from the author of confusion. Now let's see how the author of confusion think. To where in the devil's world, where they want to exalt themselves above the stars of God. Now this resumes to read. Once you sell 1 million records or your movie shoots to the top of the charts, they call you a star. Or you do a movie and your performance is worth winning a Grammy or an Oscar. Thus, they label you a star. You even get a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, like a lot of people have. A star on the Walk of Fame, right? Now you are a superstar, right? And you have made your way to stardom. You are the number one scorer on your team. There you are, the star of the team. That is why you call them stars, because they are mere symbols of the devil, Satan. Now wait a minute. Is this a misspeak? Is this true or is this false? Now, why would they have to get put in the category of what they just said? Where's the evidence and proof? Right? That these particular persons is of the evil one's I'm gonna say it like this. Where's the proof that these people are in the evil one's hands to the point where the things that they are doing is straight up demonic in nature? Is what they doing, do it line up with the divine teachings and instructions of the Most High? Make the comparison. We have to do this, sir. So if it don't, then indeed, certain people, yes, it's under the influence and power of the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the evil one himself, who are to have no kind of power over us. Now, let's continue to read. They have you wanting to be like them. Wait a minute. I don't want to be like these particular persons. But the influences, you know what I'm saying, that's out here, where people weak-minded and they have lack of knowledge to the point where this shows you how they do want to be like these people, because they don't know no better, right? For have you wanting to be like them, not realizing that the chances of you becoming a basketball star like Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal, or a singer like Whitney Houston or Boyz II Men, or any actress like Halle Berry, or an actor like Denzel Washington, are one in a million. In other words, very rare. In other words, it ain't gonna happen. They want your children to grow up and desire to be stars. Now, that's why we have to watch who we allow ourselves to be influenced by. Right? Now, for instance, they want your children to grow up and desire to be stars, or to one day make it to Hollywood and become a star. That's why it's called Los Angeles, which simply means Los Angels. Everyone who become a star are a part of the plan. Take for instance Michael Jackson. They made Michael Jackson, right? Now take a look at who the best African American basketball player is. Baseball player is Reggie Jackson. Who is the best African American basketball player? Magic Johnson. Right? There's your magic. It's all a part of the plan, the magic. Mahalia Jackson, right? Bo Jackson, Samuel Jackson, etc. The ETs planned it. Now, that just interjected the extraterrestrials planned it. So the extraterrestrials have certain plans that is manipulating the minds of a lot of people on this planet, that people ain't even taking into consideration and realizing that yes, behind a lot of these things that's happening in the world, and a lot of these sectors of society is caused by these beings who in essence are malevolent in character. Well, they the ones responsible and behind all this chaos in the world that's manipulating people. Now mind you, the ETs planned it. Look at the word planet. I told y'all in the previous transmission that I learned this about the plan. The word planet is bigger than what's going on in our world. Is bigger than what we've been led to believe. See, the master teacher told us the word believe is a trick word, because you can believe something without knowing actually the reality of what you believe in. Without facts, you just believe in it with no proof or evidence. So with no proof or evidence, you just believing. Replace that word believe and belief with knowing. We have to replace that word believe and belief with knowing. That's right knowledge. Now, in light of the planet, right? The ETs planned it. Look at the word planet. Plan. ET. If you go back to the old movies, they used to say Daily Planet Productions. The MGM symbol is a symbol of the lion, and the Lion of Saul, whose original name is Labeya. The Daily Planet Productions gave way to Metro Goldwyn Mayer, which is MGM, which is nothing but a free Masonic symbol. As you know, Golda Meir was the first prime minister of the Jacob Society of Israel. Do you think that's a coincidence? All the symbols are free Masonic symbols. You just can't decipher them. Do you hear the word decipher? This is all a part of distracting you from sound right reasoning. Nuwabu, which is our true spiritual science. Now, for instance, this particular line of reasoning is thought-provoking for us to see beyond the veil, to put things in its proper perspective as righteous people who is conscious of our environment, connected with the good people who is coming together to represent truth in a time of knowing, not believing. Now, for instance, on the tape Millennium 2000 by Jordan Maxwell, it states that the magic wand of Merlin the Magician was made out of Hollywood. This is a very interesting point because what do they use magic for? To cast spells. What do they use magic for? To cast spells. And that is exactly what Hollywood is helping to do. Hollywood is keeping you, the African American, under the spell of Imam Kingu. They create the illusions to make you want to live in the image of the beast and worship their God. They keep you trapped in the devil's web of music, money, and sex. Music, money, and sex. Music, money, and sex. And that's what Hollywood is all about. Music, money, and sex. Music, money, and sex. Now, the magic wand of Merlin, the magician, made out of Hollywood. Now, he even tells you right in his own dictionary that Hollywood is not something that you should be striving for. Just look at Hollywood as defined in the American Heritage Dictionary. Hollywood, the United States film industry, a flashy, vulgar atmosphere or tone held to be associated with the United States film industry. Excuse me. So, when we really look at certain things in this world and say to ourselves, you know what, is that what I really want to be? That's why when the Most High, you know what I'm saying, have our attention, right? The Most High indeed has our attention. Hold on, wow, this shit. I love saying that. The greatest owned channel of all time, baby. You know what I mean? For real, though. Positive energy activate constant elevation. So when we look at these things for real, is that really something that I want to be? You know what I'm saying? I am what the Most High say I am. Feel me? I am what the Most High say I am. I belong to the righteous side of existence. Now this goes on to read, right? Matter of fact, enough of that with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna read. Hold on. I'm gonna resume with this, right? Okay. And end this here and segue right into the proper frequency of certain prophetic thought. That's why Magic Kingdom and Disney World show reenactments of the movies like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, The Lion King, Back to the Future, etc., right? And they have recently set up a whole UFO and ET park at the United Kingdom, which takes place in Florida. Florida is the state of the roses, which takes you back to the red rose of the War of the Roses and the Order of the Rosicrucians, where they make Jesus the red rose on the cross, symbolizing again the blood of Christ, which is you. And the reason why African Americans were brought here in the first place was for the blood. Do you see where they all tie into each other? It's all in one big game. And you are not going to get out of it unless you have right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding over all things. We as a people need facts. The facts, total truth, baby. Not beliefs. You need to open up your minds and help break the spell of a man or kingle. Being free. We have to be free from the spell of ignorance. Now think about the blood. We have royal blood going through our veins. Royal spiritual bloods that's connected to the deities. The deities of the universe. The real deities of the universe. Right? Now, for instance, I'm gonna go here. For instance, we are of, you know what, we are beautiful beings that's described in such a way to where people jealous of us because they know we are the gods. And certain treatment that we have got It just don't make no sense in terms of the Black Holocaust in comparison to other races of people's Holocaust. But the Holocaust that we went through, can't nobody compare to it. Not to take away from nobody else's pain, but the pain that we continue to go through today as a people as a result of the Black Holocaust, still struggling and striving to get into that healed state. We on our way beyond the trick knowledge of the so-called groups or political groups that is really addressing our issues as a people, or addressing what they call the black dilemma, or that's really addressing issues about our people, that's really setting the record straight. Now, for instance, the line of reasoning with these particular encouraging words, powerful words, right, is very interesting. This reads, "O feuding people who dwell excuse me, O feuding people who dwell amongst us Nuwapians, you insist on living a life of Canaanite ways, accepting his false promises. You accept his lies, a life of infidelity and ignorance, while in your hearts you know better. Yet you practice promiscuity while you persist in guiding our own people back to you practice promiscuity while we persist in guiding our own people back to a life of fidelity. Don't you remember our own holy land, Tamaray, Egypt of the West, in Georgia, USA, here in the United States? The colorful days of joy and fun, the peaceful shadow hours of family and friends and meditation. Don't you remember Jazer Abba Mount Zion, upstate New York, or Jamil Ansarullah Ansar community in Brooklyn, New York? The love, the rituals, dress, music. How can you not see what we built ourselves and the practice of chastity, being completely sober at all times, no drunkenness, no smoking, no drinking, no intoxication of any kind, prayers, chanting, tranquility, and ease? But now look at you. You hide behind your real self and you instigate a new life of filth, lust, drunkenness, lying, and even stealing money from unknown Nuwapians who only wish to help save our culture and return myself to you. While in open rooms, on stages at home, you reiterate the necessity to live as Padnaj Dur Amunu Rea Pata taught you. A life of compassion, facts, truth, realities, a life of tranquility. But you see always the way to abuse others. The legacy you will leave your loved ones, your devotees, those who trusted you, because you claim I was always beside him each step of the way. I'm an old timer. I know your words becoming a new law, and you mix the inadequate knowledge of the past, outdated teachings. Nuwapu is alive and always growing back to our only true way of life, as was in original Tamaray or Kemet. To us, our people, You teach mixed doctrines. It only confuses the newcomers with an age of ignorance and separate the Nuwapians from your own pleasures and greed for wealth and control. Don't you feel bad for doing these things? See, in right knowledge, we know how to keep things in its proper perspective based on where people is at, based on certain questions that they ask, and align them to the right degree of knowledge to where we are at for us who are spiritually mature and up in knowledge. Now, while the hour is near between the summer solstice of June and the winter solstice of December, there will be an alignment. Patanim, the planet Earth, and Pare, the sun, and a black center out there, and the axis will shift as the skin of a grape. And this is as close as a certain time. Like, for instance, in 2012 to 2013 AD, no more time for games. This will happen and much more. Now, in light of this, right, think about the things that's been happening and been going on that we don't know about, that's constantly happening, but yet it's taking place. That's why being well informed has an advantage for us in right knowledge. Did I not warn you of the great day of Pasna's door? It will truly come upon all without care. For none save those who listen and prepare their being. Those who clutch the doctrines of your own ancestors, which is completely dated for you in Nuwapu. You need to recognize that such doctrines are from your ancestors all that they had been through by invaders. They wanted you to become and grow. All in each school was relevant for the trick technological games being played on our people world over by the offspring of the Celtic Canaanites, by taking over our way of life, or taking over our ways of life, changing them into religions, then spoon feeding it to us to poison our very beings, to not accept Africa. Oh no, that didn't work though. We accept Africa. Yes, we will call you Afro-Americans, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, West Indians. He who came to other lands, took over, killed for his wealth, the Germanic man, the cursed seed. He doesn't call himself Euro-American or European American or Caucasus American or Caucasian American as he does others, even Indian Americans or American Indians. No, not when it comes to himself. He just calls his people Americans, regardless of what part of the world they come from. You should call him Euro-Americans. If they are Caucasian looking and living in America, the land of the old man, the Anastasi Hopi, not their own, but he will still say, I am American, not Caucasus Americans, as he calls you, and you never say before your ancestors came here, to those shores or other black lands, what are you really? And then Kemet, Cam, black skin, Kush, black skin, but you are not one drop, but you are not one drop of our blood. And that makes all others what we are, even if they don't look it. To look at Arabia today, these are Indo-Turks, not the original seed of Hagar or her son Ishmael, who both were black-skinned Egyptians. Now, this is going to go deep into certain realities of who's who on the planet Earth. But before I get off into that, right, I wanted to also continue to point out these particular points as well regarding us being in a state of mind where we stand to our true identity and not be influenced by certain suggestions to hypnotize us, to get us into that particular mentality of being something other than ourselves. Now, for instance, we was talking about subliminal seduction through the movies, right? Now, this particular person, James Beccari, a psychologist. Okay, a psychologist. James Beccari, a psychologist, who does marketing research, tests ads in movies, theaters, with the subliminal messages. Hungry, eat popcorn, and drink Coca-Cola. They were flashes across the screen every 5 seconds at a 1/3000th of a second. These same ads were distributed in major airlines, sold by In-Flight Motion Pictures Inc. This happened in a certain era of time, like December in 1972, way back then, right? Now, have you ever seen the movie My World Dies Screaming? In the movie, subliminal messages of the picture of a skull and the word blood all flash across the screen using the Precon process. The movie The Exorcist used subliminal pictures and sounds several times throughout the movie. The face of the father, Karas, which became a 2-frame full-screen death mask, flash across the screen every 1/47th of a second. Note, not to mention the word pig can be seen several times throughout the movie. They had the nerve to put the squealing pigs being slaughtered in the soundtrack of the film. They would show you angry bees, which made some people sick to their stomachs. Simple things like this tells you that you can easily gain control of your mind through these particular influences in these movies. People are beginning to complain about being subliminally seduced again. This is something that I warned you all about years ago. The group American Life League of Stafford, Virginia, accused the Walt Disney Company of putting sexual imagery in the cartoons, The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, and Aladdin. They said that in the film Little Mermaid, you can see, certain things that is sexual in nature for subliminal seduction purposes in cartoons as well. And we know these things are real. Now, however, I know that it's not. Now, for instance, however, I know that it. I know that it. However, I know that is not true, and that is the sole purpose of putting in subliminal messages. In other words, I know that is true regarding the subliminal messages. A lot of people can see these things, right? So that you will not consciously hear them, and it can affect you without you knowing it. Refer to the scroll are there black devils. Also, in the Los Angeles Times, there was an article that stated the relative ease with which messages can be inserted into the computer code, combined with the increasing hours people are spending in front of computer screens, leads some psychologists and media experts to believe that the potential for mind control, voluntary or involuntary, is greater in the new media than in any that came before. The latest scheme is the new rating game. They are now on this new mission to control the violence on the airwaves, meaning they want to stop broadcasting as much violence on the television as they used to. Of course, they are claiming that their major concerns is the children. They say that they are worried about the children getting this negative influence. Now think about it. The negative influences that a lot of people seem to have adopted, that's given rise to the unnecessary, unthinkable acts of violence that's been happening in a lot of the communities, that has been perpetrated by a lot of young people, also middle-aged people. But people out here appear to be losing their minds to the point where they're at a point of no return, to where they even killing themselves, committing suicide from certain internal pressures that cause them to lose control of themselves, to where we see and hear about these tragic things that should not be happening. You know what I'm saying? There's certain communication breakdowns in certain social, situations, to where, we like, it's unthinkable. We like these. We can't even see why them things is happening. You know what I'm saying? But yet, a lot of the subliminal seduction, you never know what kind of subliminal seduction certain people might be under, that's caused them to that causes them to act outside of their own good character, where they out their minds. So spiritually, we do have to protect our ear gates, our eyes, and things of this particular nature from these particular subliminal suggestions. That's not good for us. You know what I'm saying? We are not problems. We not troublemakers. We don't cause these kind of problems as Nubians and Nubians and brothers and sisters who righteous in the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple of America, black political activist groups. We are not negative. We are positive people who is contributing to positive, complete social change in our environment with positive relations with the rest of the human family on a civic level, a spiritual level, a healthy level, and a psychological level. Stop letting these people lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? These people who actually are agents of the devil who don't mean the good people no good because they foolish like that. We ain't got time for that, man. You can't pull this small time stuff over on our heads. We know we represent the light when we making the world a better place. And the other races that's in their right mind, they see and know that too. They see through the lies of these people. We are about the truth. The truth is positive. The proof is in the truth, and the truth is in the proof. Now, this goes on to resume to read, right? Now, regarding the messenger, I wanted to touch on him too. I mean, look, you know what? For the sake of time of this transmission, I'm going to discontinue this right now because I see I got a lot of other stuff to organize because we're going to really go deep into resolving, you know what I'm saying, things that need to be resolved, being free from misunderstandings, you know what I'm saying? So we have, me in particular, I have made a lot of positive self-corrections that will enable me to stay on the straight and narrow. The proof is in the truth, and the truth is in the proof. Positive energy activate constant elevation, my peoples. We are indeed the winners. This beautiful positive Om chant that's permeating through the airwaves. May y'all connect with the nine ether energies. That is appealing to the beauty of our unbreakable, invincible, spiritual nature. And with that said, Rahu Bahotep, yes sir. There's so much that I want to talk about, but I gotta, just do some things. You know what I'm saying? Regarding conscious calibration. I represent being the chosen one. It's a beautiful life. Life is good. Being in the good hands of the all, baby. Home chain sounds so beautiful. Listen to that beautiful chant. Start getting off into the chant, my people, and connect you to the healing energies of the universe. That's that Ashu. Feel you, my my beautiful divine feminine with that chant.